sure everyone's been following along with what's been going on, but we all know that there is a deadline rapidly approaching. We got November 1st, 42 million Americans, one card, one system, and a government on pause. So what happens when the lifeline snaps? Guys, the Electronic Benefit Transfer System, EBT, is how SNAP benefits reach families. It's not just a card. For a lot of people, it's not only food, it's their stability. But this November, that system may stop. As this federal shutdown goes on, I think it's into its 4th week now, the USDA has warned states that there may be insufficient funds to pay the November SNAP benefits. And that is $6 a day gone for a lot of people and a lot of families. And that translates to millions across the country. States like Pennsylvania, California, they have already sounded the alarm. And there you got governors that are scrambling, some deploying emergency food aid, others, of course, playing the political blame game, saying, hey, this is nothing more than political gridlock. But here's the problem. We've seen it. When entitlements are threatened, unrest follows. It's not right, but it just is what it is. Food banks are bracing for surges. Small retailers, many of whom rely on EBT traffic, they could collapse. Will November 1st be a flashpoint or just simply a wake-up call? That's really going to depend on what happens next. It should not be a surprise, and I'm sure everyone that follows this channel is certain that if SNAP stops flowing, panic will be induced. We can just kind of all see that coming. It doesn't take too much of an imagination to see that happening. So as far as the tactical preparedness aspect of this and what you can do now, we usually kind of laugh quietly on the inside, as we all know that, preparedness, it has nothing to do with panic. And in any scenario of uncertainty, it's simply staying ahead of the curve.
These civilized people, they'll eat each other. See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
And most importantly, it's the realization that preparedness isn't just gear. It is 100% mindset. It's knowing who to call, where to go, and how to adapt. And take this video and these current events as the wake-up call, in that all of what you've been doing, it's all going to start now. So probably the biggest thing I would say to start with, due to the threats that have already been issued by some of the EBT recipients on social media, is to strategically avoid grocery stores during the early days of the potential EBT disruption, especially around November 1st. And here's why, and pretty much how I plan to navigate it. So first off, using COVID as the example, there we saw grocery store shortages. And when you look at that, it's probably going to be another event of the, to be expected high demand, low supply. If EBT benefits are delayed or halted, millions of families may rush to use the remaining balances or seek alternatives, leading to panic buying and then empty shelves. Then just factor in the crowd stress and the tensions. With COVID, we saw it, the long lines, the frustration, and all of the fear, and how quickly all of those cause things to escalate, especially in this scenario where, you have these areas that have high resilience on SNAP, which that's going to cause, even minor disputes to spiral out of control. This was evident during COVID. They had us for a pretty lengthy period of time working security details at grocery stores for this exact type of thing. Then there is the fact that the supply chain ripple effects. Your smaller stores that rely on EBT traffic, they may struggle to restock, while the larger chains, they could see delays in deliveries due to increased demand and labor shortages. So kind of just looking at this as a mission, what are the tactical alternatives to our necessary shopping requirements? First, I'd plan on shopping early and shopping smart. If you can, stock up on whatever it is you need before November 1st. Just quietly and gradually focus on the essentials, not the luxury items. Also, consider what the peak hours are for shopping, and then use the off hours. If you must go, aim for early mornings or late evenings, especially midweek, just to avoid all of that peak traffic. And another really good thing, which is probably something we should be doing anyway, is leveraging the local options we have available to us. Things like farmers markets or co-ops. They may be less impacted and more community oriented. Now, one thing that plays a huge role here and should also be, incorporated with your comms plans is be coordinating with your neighbors. If you can figure out ways to share supply runs, one person shops while others watch kids, or even getting some meal prepping going. Mutual aid, just like a solid comms plan, is a force multiplier. And then a little added bonus thing you can even do is set up like a micro catch or pantry. Create small redundant food catches in different parts of your property or your home or even your vehicle. Think of it kind of like staging gear for deployment. If one area becomes compromised, you have fallback options. And when it comes to all of this food and resource prep, one of the best things you can do is stock smart, not scared. Focus on shelf-stable, high-calorie basics. Rice, beans, oats, canned proteins, powdered milk. And if it's looking like this could be a prolonged event, stretch what you have. Learn basic meal planning and portion control. In all reality, one bag of rice can feed a family for days. And on top of that, preserve what's fresh. If you got meat, go ahead and freeze it. Blanch your veggies and rotate pantry items to avoid spoilage. As far as the communication preps involved with all of this, I say it all of the time. Comms isn't just about talking. It's intel gathering if you're listening. If you aren't familiar with it, I would certainly, wouldn't hurt to get to know your state's EBT alert system and sign up for text or email updates. And especially if you're getting it through your, state's Department of Human Services. So what information is being put out there and can start to critically think on what the reactions may come from it. And this is where the real-time, local, trusted intel updates come into play for the micro view in, what's happening in your immediate area of operation. Create a comms chain, build a phone tree with your neighbors, your family, your community, have the contacts and, share updates and resources. As far as your personal security and stability are concerned, this is probably a good time to, elevate your personal situational awareness level up a notch. Grocery stores and aid centers, they may become absolute flashpoints. So if you do have to venture out to those, know your exits, know your travel routes, and if you can, travel in groups. And then bringing this right back to community, lend support, check in on your vulnerable neighbors, share what you can, because resilience beats solo survival every single time. That has been proven over and over again in the military, in disaster situations. So do what you can as far as that's concerned. So guys, in all reality, this shouldn't be fear. It's not fear. This isn't panic. This is what preparation is all about. November 1st isn't just a date. Look at this as a test of systems, of communities, of us, of everything you have put in place and worked towards up to this point. If the EBT system halts, the ripple won't be digital. It'll be human. Grocery aisles won't just be crowded. We know they will be stressed. And the difference between chaos and calm will be mindset. So let me know in the comments what you think of all this, because my viewpoint is really simple when it comes to everything that's going on. You don't need to be a responder to respond. You don't need to have a badge to lead people. You just need to act before the flashpoint. So stock smart, move quiet, stay aware, and above all, connect, because resilience isn't solo, it's shared. This was your wake-up call. Now make it your mission. And with that, we'll see you on the next one. Be safe.